Okay. The definition of a community pool is a pool that is owned by a residential community. Those who live in the community have a special pool pass. If a friend is visiting out of town, the friend can use the pool pass in their name. If the residents want to have a private party, they book the pool party. They book the pool about a month in advance. They pay a fee. The entire community is told the pool is closed that day for a specific private party and no one else is allowed in there. The guest list is prepared and only those on the guest list are allowed past security. To put that into perspective, the young woman in question was on the guest list. She was an outsider, but she was on the list. She was allowed inside. Now, somehow got it started that the pool was open to everyone, and a whole bunch of people showed up, including the 15-year-old white boy who filmed the main video in question. They were told, go home, private party only. He and a few others complied. They went wherever they went. They went somewhere else. And some other guys didn't comply. They wanted to scale the fence. They wanted to charge the gate. They wanted to fight security. And it was just it was basically a riot. There's a 25-second video down below of a white woman a little older than me fist fighting with a black teenage girl down the block from the pool. Their friends break it up. Police are called. When the police respond to a riot, every single person in the area is ordered to freeze. You are not allowed to leave. Once they do their little investigation, they determine who needs to be transported for booking and who needs to go home. When they tell you to go home, you must go home. Unless you are in your own house, when they tell you to leave, you must leave. Okay? So, about a dozen men show up to restore order. The individual in question, Case Bolt, he's seen primarily. This entire episode took over an hour and only a little segment is filmed. But we see Case Bolt basically telling people, sit down, don't move, you're detained, and he says a few choice words. If a curse word slips out, it's okay. It's frowned upon, but it's not a big deal. If you continue to drop F-bombs like he was, that's going to be a written report later on. Bad move. So then he tells all these people, most of which are males between 15 and 20-ish, you must stay. Then he tells these other group of people, mostly females, you must leave. If you look very carefully at the video, and you have to see the video 20 times, like I did. A 14-year-old girl in a bathing suit opens her mouth while she's 20 feet away from him. She turns around and leaves the scene. She's actually, you have to look real carefully, but it's there. She's leaving the scene. He runs up, grabs her, pulls her back into the main focus of the camera, brings her down. She lands on her chest area on the pavement, legs in the grass, chest in the pavement, sort of. He gets her in a seated position. He grabs her head and starts pushing it down. Several females who obviously know her approach him to presumably to calm him down. He pushes them aside and I think accidentally smacks one of them in the face when he does it. A white man, who I have no idea where he came from, security or whatever, shoves them aside. Two black men approach him and he rises up, puts his hand on his gun, which is a weapons retention technique. The two men see this, they back away. He sees them back away. I saw this on super slow motion. After he sees them back away, turn and start to run, he then draws his weapon and keeps it at low ready, which is this move here, low ready. I don't have to use it, but if I have to, I can. Okay. Now, obviously I expect an officer to draw his weapon to cover his weapon so it's not taken from him. But when the men back away and turn and run, he draws and pursues at low ready. Two other officers tap him out. He goes back to the girl. They go around the corner after the two men. He approaches the girl with the gun at low ready, holsters it as he's approaching her. She's 14. She doesn't know low ready. She doesn't know self-defense. She doesn't know weapons retention. All she sees is a cop with a gun. She freaks out. He holsters the gun, grabs her wrist, pulls her forward on the grass, on the chest, tries to push her head in the grass, yells face down, moves her a little bit more here and there. He twists her around again. She's laying on her stomach. He puts one knee on the lower back where the spine is and the kidneys are at, the lower spine and the kidneys. Other knee on the upper neck, back, like this area here. Okay, he outweighs her by well over 50 pounds, plus all his gear on. Now, let's focus on the gun. Let's go back to the gun for a minute. I would have put my hand over my weapon to protect it, but when the men turned and ran, I would have put the gun away and drew the taser, because when you fire your gun, you have to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that you believed that there was a 51% chance you were going to die. Since Tennessee versus Garner in 1985, two men running away, that's hard to prove. Using a taser, pepper spray, or a baton in your fist is not so bad. It's easier to explain, okay? When you use non-deadly force, you have to say, I thought my safety was in danger. When you use deadly force, you have to say, I thought I was going to die, and I thought I had no choice. Last option. So, yeah, that's a problem. And I saw that in super slow motion. Turns back to the girl, gets the girl now, kneeling on the back. There's kidneys, there's ribs, there's vertebra, there's a spine, there's a neck. Okay? Can he kill her? Probably not. Can he hurt her? Yes, he can. Okay? Yes, he can. He can cause some damage. Now, 14-year-old girls brandish butcher knives. 14-year-old girls bang other girls' heads on concrete. She did not do that. So this is like a full felony attack arrest. This is how you arrest a girl when she's getting a felony. Now, when I was 25, I took a psychology class. My professor was 30 at the time. She's 38 now. 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. She worked in mental institutions. She knew every takedown technique in the book. I'm 5'9", I'm 185 pounds. She could take me down in 2 seconds by herself. No question. If I had to detain this girl, I would put my hand over her arm like this, squeeze. Look her in the eyes and say, you are being detained. Sit down now. You are not free to leave. Having worked with 14-year-old girls, they will comply when the hammer drops. 90% of the time. Other 10% of the time, I would try to get behind her if I could. If not, go from the front, and I would hug her. Keep her arms together. I would pick her up off her feet and sit down with her, preferably on the grass if I could. Take the blow myself, I can take it. I would then roll her, sit on my lap, roll her onto her stomach, kneel next to her like this, put my hand just on her back. She wants to get up, push down a little bit. Right hand on the back, left hand, which is dominant, is free to work. Cover the gun so no one steals it. Make sure she's breathing. You can feel the lungs from the back. She wants to fight, push her down more. She wants to fight more, put one knee on the back. She wants to go crazy, put 2 knees on the back. But you escalate and de-escalate as needed. And my professor, the psychologist, taught me this. She says, when they're calming down, you apply less pressure to the body. When they're going apeshit, you apply more pressure to the body. Okay? So I would escalate. I wouldn't put both knees on the back until I was confident that she was going to go bonkers. Like really bonkers. This brings me to the other problem I have with this situation. It is illegal to threaten a police officer. Period. It is illegal to obstruct a police officer who is conducting a lawful arrest. It is not illegal to say a bad word in a police officer's direction. It's not. It's rude, but it's not a crime. She's 20 feet away. She makes a nasty mark, which she denies later on, obviously. But it's her word against his on whether or not she said the remark or not. Let's assume she did, just for the sake of argument. Let her go. I have had girls between 10 and 14 that are in a pissy mood. They walk away and they just mumble something really nasty, like, because they're in a bad mood. The next time I see them, they hug me. Yes, sir. Yes, mister. Not a big deal. My buddy, when she was in 5th grade, she was the first person whose life I saved. When she was in 6th grade, I saved her from busting her head open on concrete 2 weeks before Christmas. This past Monday, I saved her from getting clipped again. She's 13 now. A few months ago, she's 12. Back in the fall, she's 12. Pissed off mood, she crosses the street, looking straight ahead. I turn and say good morning. She puts the hand up. She doesn't hit me, she just pushed the hand on my face. And I was upset. This girl would be in her grave today had it not been for me. And she's got the nerve to put a hand on my face because she's in a bad mood. I took a deep breath and I let her go home to school. Next time I saw her, we were friends again. Okay, she's still my buddy. She'll still reach my hand when she needs it. She'll still obey my lawful order. We're buddies for life. We're cool. Okay? Now from the tactical standpoint, a bikini, she's wearing a bikini. A bikini is underwear and a bra made out of different material. The boobs and crotch are covered. The entire rest of the body is exposed. Is she carrying a gun or a knife or hand grenade? No. Can she pull a knife out of her sock? She's barefoot. Can she kick me with her steel-toe boot? She's barefoot. Okay? Case Bolt is a retired Navy SEAL, plus has 12 years of law enforcement experience. She is the least physically threatening person there to him. Let her go. Now, he takes her onto the grass and wrestles with her. All the males in the back, some are handcuffed, some are not. They're all fully clothed. T-shirt, cargo shorts, and socks, and shoes. I did a video, see below, where I wanted to illustrate Mike Brown. T-shirt, my Black Hawk tactical shorts, and socks. 1911, Glock, 10-round magazine in the 1911, 10-round magazine spare for 1911, a knife in every pocket, razor blade, box cutter, utility knife, little mini knife in my sock. Okay, these males, and one of them said that's my cousin. They're her male friends and male cousins. Fully clothed, can have knives in every pocket, can have a gun, haven't been searched, haven't been interrogated, some of them are handcuffed. You're arresting a 14-year-old girl in a bathing suit while her male relatives and friends are behind you, fully clothed, not searched. That is a suicide attempt. Can women put razor blades in their hair? Yes. But if she's got a razor blade in her hair, why are you pushing her hair? Can people put razor blades in their mouth? Yes. Can people put knives in the rectum? Yes. Can people put knives in the vagina? Yes. In the hood? Yeah. Prison? Yeah. A 14-year-old girl in a suburban neighborhood in a bikini, the odds of her having a weapon in her vagina, anus, mouth, or hair is 1 in a trillion. Let her go. Now let's focus on what if and what was. What if Case Bolt let her go? The 15-year-old white kid might have taken the videotape to the sergeant. The videotape would have shown Case Bolt dropping a few F-bombs. Sergeant would have wrote a report and said, listen, you use foul language, it's not appropriate, you're on report in the behavior folder. If it happens again, you're suspended. Okay. He would have seen the girl a week later. He would have said, listen, sweetheart, earlier that day I had to respond to 2 suicide attempts. Yes, he did. 1 attempt and 1 success. I was very angry. I was in a high pressure situation. I should have used foul language. I shouldn't have yelled as much. I was not as professional as I should be. I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm a police officer. I owe it to myself to be better. You said a couple of choice words. I forgive you. Let's shake hands and let's be friends. I'll buy you an ice cream. I work with 14-year-old girls, black and Hispanic. They will let it go. I've had to raise my voice to kids. Next minute they call me sir. I've had to put the hammer down on the kids. They're fine the next day. Let it go. Deep breath. Because he didn't let it go, because he insisted on going through with it, because he had to grab her, put her down, all that other bullshit. As a direct result of him grabbing her, the women came over. As a direct result of that, he pushed his hand up and smacked one of them in the face by accident. As a direct result of that, the men came and approached him. As a direct result of that, he drew the gun and put it at low ready. As a direct result of that, internal affairs got involved. He was suspended. He resigned to avoid termination. His children were threatened with death. He has to go into hiding now with his children to protect their lives. Every race pimp in America is coming to town to start a riot, like they do the entire rest of the country. Terrorists have threatened to kill police officers. The girl's family is suing the police department. The girl's family wants the DA to press criminal charges for assault and a few other things. Everyone on the planet saw this video. Was it worth it? Let the girl go. You have to pick and choose your battles. I have a whole bunch of men who are clothed and have not been searched. They need to be searched, interrogated, and either released or arrested. One or the other. Let the 14-year-old girl in the bikini go. Pick and choose your battles. Look at Eric Garner. He was selling one untaxed cigarette. They insisted on arresting him. He's a career criminal. He's in a bad mood. They put him down. He ends up dying because he's not healthy. They have a bad chokehold. He dies. His family is suing for $70 million. Okay? Look at George Zimmerman. Okay? He gets out of the car. He's put in a position where he has to kill a man in order to protect himself. That's what he says. Okay? Let it go. You need to remember the move you make now is going to haunt you the rest of your life. Let it go. Okay? Take a deep breath and let it go. It's not worth it. Okay? It's not. We do it all the time where I live. Okay? Where I live, you see a man walking down the street with a brown paper bag. He's drinking out of a brown paper bag. Why is a man drinking out of a brown paper bag? Because it's liquor. Do I have police come and arrest him? No. Because it's not worth it. Okay? I ask people all the time. You know where I can buy a Lucy cigarette? I don't know. Ask around. I have no idea where to buy it from. Okay? Do I call dispatch and say, I've got a guy here who wants to buy a Lucy cigarette? Send the SWAT team. No. Let it the fuck go. Let it go. Take a deep breath and let it go. It's not worth it. Okay? This man's life is ruined because he didn't let it go. Now my friend who put a hand on my face because she was in a bad mood, I took a deep breath and I let it go. And we're still buddies. Imagine if I grabbed her wrist, threw her down, put my knees on her back, pushed her head down. Okay? She would have sued the city for $10 million and I would have been in prison right now making this video. Let it go. Thank you. Good night.